Howdy, this is Mackenzie Franklin from SideGameLLC here in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Today we're going to be taking a look at Smartphone Inc., designed by Ivan Lachine and published by Cosmodrome Games and Arcane Wonders. Now this is the Kickstarter exclusive version, so it has the larger box, but before we jump into it, I do want to mention that this is going to have some lid lift. It's going to have about maybe half an inch of lid lift here, but you'll see why in a second. Let's go ahead and jump inside. So first off, you will notice that this does come with the expansions included. So it has the smartphone base game rulebook, as well as the update pack 1.1. It also has the Steve AI, as well as the Dice Tower promo. We also have the achievement sheets that comes in the Kickstarter edition, as well as the 2 game boards. So these game boards are rather thick, but they do come with recessed spots inside. So really awesome. So it has the 2-player game board here, as well as the 3 to 5-player game board, which is the whole world. So I really like that new update where you can play with that smaller player count really well. Up next, you'll see that we have a bit of a different organization method that's recommended, and that is because when you use the standard organization method that is suggested for the game, these trays are going to get stuck in the bottom and make it a huge hassle to play. So that half an inch of lid lift is worth it so that you can actually get the game played quickly and without any nuisance. You're not going to be damaging any components or really having a rough time getting started. So let's go ahead and take a look inside. So on the left here, we have the score pad. We have all of the player shields, and you want to make sure that the side that is folded is going to be on the left here because there is a little bit of room. You want to make sure it's nice and even, so you want to make sure that's on that left side. And then underneath that, you're going to have all of the different tablets for the players. This includes the expansion tablets with the costs on the different icons, as well as the standard base game tablets. In the center section here, we're going to have all of the Dice Tower promos, if you decide to use those. A silica gel packet to keep everything nice and fresh. We have all of the pieces that you're going to be using at the start of each game. These are all the technology tiles, as well as the round markers, anything that you'll need to put on the board. And generally, you're going to want to randomize these, so it's nice to keep them in one bag, so that way you can just pull them out and put them where they need to go. So those are all going to be in one bag here. You can just simply throw it on there. And lastly, underneath that, you're going to have the AI board if you decide to use the Steve Automa AI. In these other crevices, we have the first come, first serve, these bonus tokens. If you're the first one to do a specific thing, you get that bonus. So that's a module if you want to use that. And then lastly, tucked away in this crevice, you'll see that we have all of the tokens for these scenarios. So the Kickstarter pack came with lots of these tokens because Cosmodrome said that they would be publishing lots of new scenarios for the game, and that's what these tokens are specifically for. So if you do want to use those, they're in here. Right now, not all of them are unlocked, so when they do come out, you'll know which ones you're able to use. So you can just put those away for right now because realistically, you're probably not going to use them for a while. And that leaves us to our trays. So in the normal organization method, like I said, the game had you sort the trays as a 3x2 grid, but doing so, it was very tight component fit and not something that I liked at all. It really made it for a hard gameplay setup. So let's see how we've got it set up here. So first off, we have the player component trays. So first off, we've got inside these component trays are going to have your starting tile for your extra bonuses. You're going to have all of your likes for specific technologies, as well as your CEO marker here. And that's for, once again, specific technologies. You might not use these every game, but they're in here based on player color. And then in the other sections here, you have your little towers, as well as your staircases, and then your goods boxes. So those are all in here. So these trays are really nice because you just put them out and you're ready to go, essentially. And then this will be a starting tile that you can use for production, or you can place on your board for the extra bonuses. It also has these nice little bands here that you want to make sure stay intact because these are going to hold those patents if you're the first one to get them. So once again, you just simply put that one on top, and then you'll place the lid on top of that. So each of those containers are going to be like that, but you're going to have them two to a corner, essentially. So one corner here, one corner here, and in this upper left corner, you'll have one of the player component boxes, as well as the tokens for the upcoming tiles. So these are the tiles that you're going to be giving out during the game. You'll shuffle these up and they'll go nicely out on the board. You also have the tiles for players that don't take this action in this as well. So this is a really nice organization system for all of that, and I think it works really well for getting that game started quickly, as opposed to making sure it all fits snugly. And that's kind of what I'm all about. And that is everything in that base game box. So let's go ahead and see, let's go ahead and flip this around. Let's go ahead and see how we put it back. So first off, we're gonna put all those player components. So you have one player here, two player components in this corner, and then 4 and 5 in this corner. You'll take the extra goods tiles up here. We'll take our notifications and put them in there, in that little crevice. We'll take our solo board and put it in here. Our silica gel packet. All of our Kickstarter tokens for future scenarios. We'll take all of the tablets, all of the Dice Tower promos, all of those randomized technologies and corporate boards. We've got our player boards, our player screens, I should say, our score pad, and then on top of this, we've got 1 game board, 2 game boards, achievement sheets, and rule books. And that is organizing Smartphone Inc. If you have any questions about what you saw here, I'd love to hear them in the comments below. How do you organize your copy of Smartphone? How does this differ from the base game? What do you think about my organization method or strategy? Did you do anything differently to kind of combat this approach? What do you think in general? Are there any games that you'd like to see organized? Thank you so much for watching. I hope some of you found this useful. Side game strong.